And don't forget, right now you can stream Detail from the Mind of Kobe Bryant on ESPN Plus. Get your ESPN Plus subscription now. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, my favorite series of the 8 series is the Thunder and the Blazers.
Not the Pistons Bucks?
That's my least favorite series of the 8 series, and you know exactly why. I won't even watch that game tonight. They're turning it on. They're going to watch that one. But I watched every second of this one. I was up way too late, and it was so intriguing. The Blazers took a 2-0 lead, pulling away from the Thunder, leading kind of throughout the fourth quarter. Jalen, the Thunder are shooting atrociously from three-point. What are they going to do about this moving forward?
So one of the things you have to do is Paul George is a terrific shooter. He should keep launching. Russell Westbrook is a volume shooter. So in a play like this, when you get stripped, I don't want you now to launch up a three. That's why Dame is cheering. Because you letting me off the hook. And so I always look at the stat sheet and say, did Russ attempt more free throws than threes?
Okay.
And when that does not happen, I usually don't favor that dynamic. He's one of the most explosive, if not the most explosive guard that we've seen. He can attack the basket, finish with his left, finish with his right. And so when he shoots a jump shot, I'm telling you, I've been in front of Allen Iverson. And when he launched a jump shot, it wasn't because he couldn't get 50 and he couldn't make them. It just, you couldn't stop him from getting to the basket.
Yeah.
That's a 100% shot versus a 45% shot. And I just remember standing in front of him. Every time he shot a jumper, I was like, thank you.
And it's just same thing. He did the same thing with Westbrook, too. It's like Westbrook could blur by you, not just go by you, but then jump and finish over whoever the help defender was. But if he's going to shoot a three, especially if his momentum's going backwards like it was in that play, it's not going to go in. Is it fatigue? Is it overconfidence? Why does he keep doing this?
It's speed. Like, the velocity of everything that he does out there on the floor is almost the equivalent of why players who seem to jump extraordinarily high normally aren't range jump shooters with accuracy. Like Vince Carter can knock down an open jump shot because he's a great leaper, but not many. The same with Russ. If you look at the tempo that he plays with, it's one thing to pull up on a dime from mid-range, 15 feet. You know this.
Yep.
Versus pull up as fast as he goes from three. That's a far opportunity with range.
Yep. Well,
and the same thing, his leaping on his jump shot is really high. So for me, it's been hard to gauge whether he's jumping at the same height each time that he releases the ball. Sometimes it seems like he's releasing it on the way up. Sometimes it seems like he's releasing it on the way down. And the bottom line, this entire season from the three or from the free throw line, he's not shooting with confidence.
So you mentioned the distance of the three-point shot and the technique of shooting it. Let's just take a look at what Dame Lillard has been doing with the three-point shot.
Smooth.
This is the first possession of the playoffs.
Like a walk in the park. Look at that. Smooth.
Look at the distance from which he's shooting these shots.
From 30, smooth. It's not a rush. It's not a, look at that. No panic at all.
Everybody talks about Steph Curry's range, but if you look at the actual numbers, Dame Lillard hits more, if not as many deep threes.
He was told about a nickname that he liked during All-Star break that I'm going to say into the microphone.
What's that?
Because I want his fans to say it to him so he can make more shots from 30 feet.
I thought he was Dame Dollar.
Logo Lillard.
Oh, Logo Lillard's pretty good. Logo Lillard's pretty good.
Yeah. So fans of Portland, when you got pulling up from 30, Logo Lillard.
I don't know if Terry Stotts is going to love that one. Terry Stotts is going to be like, nah, how about like a toast behind the line, Lillard?
How about this? I'm willing to speak into a microphone and say, he's the first player in the history of the NBA playoffs that once his team got the opening tip to take a couple of dribbles and pull up from 35 feet.
I can't imagine. That's never happened.
That has never happened.
I feel safe saying that has never happened.
Never happened. I don't care if it was Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. I don't care if it's Larry Bird, Steph Curry. That has never
I don't think
happened.
that's ever happened. And you know the coach, they drew up a play. You know what I mean? They want to get everybody touches.
Yes.
They want to get people involved. Like, let's move the ball around.
Yes.
And it's like, no, I'm just going to shoot it from here. I'm sure from here, if you don't mind.
But you know what that is, right?
What?
That's throwing a haymaker at the bully. And then you hit him and knock him down. And that's what that play does to everybody else. Like, oh, okay.
So
he ain't playing around.
I think this is going to be a 6 or 7 game series, right? I'm sure the Thunder will win at least one in OKC, if not both. I think it's going to be a long series, but what adjustments do the Thunder need to make to sort of even this up?
So an easy adjustment would be to say make shots. And I think that playing at home for some strange reason has been like this since the history of time. Role players flourish in front of their home fans. Feel more comfortable. The atmosphere is like when you show up at your job today. If everybody was patting you on the back and telling you did a great job, you'll have more pep in your step.
Yeah,
if everybody was kicking in your butt and tell you that you stink,
that'd be sad.
Then you won't bring the same level of emotional joy. And so I think their role players are going to shoot better. That's one. But number two is something I already said. Look at the free throws attempted of Paul George, who's dealing with a shoulder injury, which I think that's allowing him to shy away from contact because he was getting to the line versus this team that they went 4-0 against in the regular season. Same with Russell Westbrook. And thirdly, Steven Adams has to be a part of a big three. They can't make it a big two with the attempts, with the threes. They got to feed the big fella every now and then.
The first possession, they went into him. The second possession, they went into him. And then they kind of got away from it. It seemed like they really wanted to ISO Cantor and his defense early in the game, but they got away from it later in the game.
He was 7 for 8. He had 16 points. He had 9 boards. You got to feed the big fella.
Yeah, let's see if he goes 8. Let's see if he goes 8 for 9. Let's see if he goes 9 for 10. Why not?
And then that's
I love Steven Adams.
No doubt. And then that's a different way. He looked like that. I haven't seen the movie, but I saw the preview. He looked like a dude from Aquaman.
Yeah. So
what's the plot of Aquaman?
Oh, some dude in the water. He got fish to help him out, something like that. I haven't seen Aquaman. Come on, man. I'm not seeing Aquaman. So, Jalen, one of the main matchups in this is your guy Lolo Lillard against Russell Westbrook. They have a history of kind of going back and forth, and they started to get into it a little bit last night. You take a look at this play here where this isn't a hold me back moment, but they're doing something there, and everybody comes and separates them. I think that this is going to explode later on in the series. Do you think that's right?
I think that's right. And here's why. I'm going to give people a list of reasons why Dame Lillard and Russell Westbrook just flat out should be rivals on the floor.
Oh, they are.
Because they're so much alike.
Not just the way they play basketball.
Okay, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons. I'm going to give you a couple of NBA things first. You notice these are all NBA performers that people felt like in today's day and age should chase the large market or chase the super team.
Great point.
Neither one of them did it. As a matter of fact, both of those guys have re-signed with their current squad twice, okay, to show a level of commitment. As a matter of fact, if they keep this up, statues for both. And you know how I feel about that.
I know you love statues.
Both of these guys, like Biggie would say, have been terrorists since the public school era. They have that in common. They're both from what we consider the hood. They have that in common. Neither one have won a championship. They have that in common. And both guys have not had the consistent playoff success that they desire.
And they also are not considered sort of like the best at their position. I think Steph Curry kind of is that. Even in their own conference, everybody looks at Steph Curry as, oh, Steph Curry, MVP, unanimous MVP. Steph Curry is changing the game. And then there's Russell and there's Dame being like, I really want to take that spot.
Correct.
Jalen, we work at ESPN. So we're going to talk about LeBron James. The Lakers coaching search is on. Rob Pelinka has met with Monty Williams. They plan to meet with Tyronn Lue and your guy,
Big New,
Juwan Howard. Our guy, Mark Stein, who now works at the New York Times, had this interesting quote about that search. A buzz circulating in coaching circles that Williams has a stronger than expected shot at the job because some in the Lakers organization may fear hiring Lue would be giving LeBron too much control. Okay. Take us behind the curtain, Mr. Rose.
You know what I just saw in that quote?
What's that?
First time that I've seen it.
What's that?
This is so fresh off of my top of my mind.
What?
What that tells me is if we hire somebody that LeBron won a championship with, we feel like that's giving him too much power. By the way, that's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Because LeBron James has 3 more years left on his deal. And therefore, you should handcuff those two guys together and see if they can get it done. That create a level of accountability. What I saw in that quote means they're trying to control Monty Williams' staff. So if he gets the job, can I tell you one of his associate head coaches right now?
Yeah.
Kurt Rambis.
No. Jalen, here's the thing. You know what? I'm not Rob Pelinka. I'm not Jeannie Buss. But if I was, I'm hiring someone that is in LeBron James's phone right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be like, LeBron, we're doing the coaching search. Let's open your phone. Let's open your phone. Because giving LeBron James too much control over the organization, he's LeBron James. Give him all the control. He is not just one of the best, if not the best player, he's also extremely intelligent, and he knows everything about everybody else's plays. He's a coach himself on the floor. Give him the control. It will work.
Can I give you a 360-degree snapshot of LeBron James based on the candidates you just outlined? Whose staff in New York was Kurt Rambis a part of? A couple, including Phil Jackson.
Gentleman by the name of Phil Jackson.
What type of relationship does he have with LeBron James?
Acrimonious, I believe, is the word.
Okay. What type of relationship does Kurt Rambis and his wife have with Jeannie Buss?
Oh, they're very close. Double dates all day. Go on vacation together.
Correct. So, therefore, if I hire Monty, who's going to be a terrific coach in this league. By the way, there are 3 guys I've already said that should be lining up for head coaching jobs that anybody that watched this show can be like, oh, that's broken news. I've already said Ime Udoka with the Spurs. I already said Monty Williams, who's been a head coach, did a terrific job with the Pelicans, would have still gotten another job if he hadn't dealt with the untimely circumstances of his wife. And my brother, Juwan Howard.
I mean, Juwan Howard is the right person for this job. You know why? He might give us some tickets. There's a chance I could go to a Laker game, get a nice seat as your +1 if Juwan Howard is the coach.
So not giving LeBron, quote unquote, too much power means we're going to hire Monty Williams and we're going to put Kurt Rambis on his staff.
Don't do it.
Because remember, hold on, I got one more thing for you.
I'm off the bandwagon if they do this.
I got one more thing for you. You remember when they were like, oh, Luke Walton's coaching staff wasn't as experienced? That was just code for he didn't want Kurt Rambis on the coaching staff. Because last time I checked, Brian Shaw is experienced.
Yeah, Brian Shaw.
As a player
as a coach,
and as a coach.
He's been
as a head coach.
He's been a coach for like a decade. Interesting. Jalen Rose.
What up, though?
The WNBA is doing their players dirty, and it really came back to bite them. We'll explain right after this.